Hey, welcome back, guys. So today on the chopping block, this is my Guitar Center deal of the week and trade of the week. And on the trading block, I took in several guitars, just two, and I got a really good price. One of them that I took in was actually another Schecter, my traditional Pro, with the roasted maple neck, locking tuners, and it had a quilted maple top. And I saw this Schecter. Now this was kind of more of my vibe. The other one had a double humbucker, which I wasn't too much of a fan of, and it was quite heavy. It had an alder body. And I saw this one on the wall at Guitar Center. I think it was used or brought in. I can't quite remember exactly. But I picked it up and it was on clearance, so maybe it wasn't a returned item. It was on clearance. And so I played it and I really liked these pickups. These pickups, for me personally, just had better definition, had better tonal properties, and it's more of my vibe. It's like a super strat, basically. The ash body had really beautiful grains, really nice grains. It looks really good. Hopefully you can see more of that. Yeah. And so what it has is it's definitely got a lighter body. It's got a lighter roasted maple. It's not super dark, but it's a good piece of roasted maple. I mean, it's not as dark as a lot of other ones. I think these have those glow in the dark fret markers. I'm thinking it looks like it anyway, because they're pretty bland looking. It is 22 frets, jumbo frets is what they say. And these particular pickups, by the way, are USA Schecter USA. Here in the bridge is what they call a Super Rock Vintage and USA Monster Tone, and they sound really good. It is coil tapped too, if you want to coil tap it. And this is not the original whammy bar. I guess they couldn't find it, so this is actually from my old Schecter vintage traditional Pro. But this is the Van Nuys and traditional Van Nuys, and I guess these sold, according to the website, for $12.99 when they first came out originally. Now they're down to about $900 plus tax, $8.99. But I'm sure on the used market you can find them probably even cheaper. You know, probably down in that $600 range. It's much lighter. It sounds good. Now the only reason why I decided on this is because the playability was good. The neck and the frets were really nice. Because not all guitars, regardless of them all being manufactured the same way, they all don't always come out the same way. So this one felt really good in my hands. I did like the playability, and I liked the single coil tones. It just had a good tone. So let's listen to a little bit of that. Let's see. Starting off in the neck position. Nice, very nice single coil tone. Very nice, really rich. Fourth position. Got that quack. out of tune. A little bit up there. I was doing a little bit of intonating on that. You know, I like to go over my intonation at least once a month. You know, sometimes due to weather, intonations can change because the neck changes. You know, with roasted maple, it's not supposed to change as much. You know, but it's always good to recheck your intonation. You know, depending on where you live. If you live in a hot environment, I mean, we're going from winter to summer, so there's a lot of changes in our temperature out here where I live. Okay, position number 2. Here's the difference between the middle, the 2. Back to the middle. Back to 2. Not a lot of changes there. And then here is the bridge pickup. So overall, I'm very happy with this guitar versus the traditional Pro that I had. It's got a great humbucker. If you want to go and put on some distortion, it's got a really nice sound. And let's listen just to that. Sounds pretty good, you know, for that single coil. And I'll throttle it all the way up. Yeah, this is way better sounding than the traditional Pro that I had, and I got a good deal on that trade-in, you know, almost buck for buck, you know. I think I bought that traditional Schecter Pro for around the same price that I got this one, so Overall, I actually bought another guitar, a Fender Squier, for a project that I did. So I got two guitars. I brought in two and I walked out with two. But this is definitely a better trade for me. And Guitar Center San Marcos did me right. They didn't, totally rip me off. I took a little bit of a loss, but out the door for this guitar and the Fender Squier for the project guitar, I only ended up spending less than $200. So to me, that's a winner chicken dinner. Yeah, Schecter traditional Van Nuys Pro, awesome guitar. Really good sounding pickups here, way better than the traditional Pro that I had, and this is more my style. So let's get on with the other guitar that I actually picked up at the Guitar Center Moreno Valley. Hold on. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, so I picked up on this Epiphone Studio. Yeah, it's got some nice abalone in there. It's got some decent color, in the right lighting. Totally jet black, and again, this one has some very unique features too. Now, when I went into Guitar Center Moreno Valley, I was only going in there to buy some guitar parts. I wasn't actually going in there to buy a guitar. And, I was always looking around to see what's there, what's on the used, on the hangers there. And I was just about to walk out. And then I saw this guitar. It was on clearance. And I usually don't go for these type of guitars because they're usually very heavy, even an Epiphone. And I've had one before, and I had very bad issues with tuning stability and intonation, and I just kind of gave up on this whole sort of thing. So this one was there, and I was like, okay, let me take a poke at this. It's got the modern headstock, tapered, which is nice, and it's a studio. And I was sitting there playing it. I plugged it into a Fender amp, and I actually was enjoying it. And I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to be really enjoying it, but the playability of the guitar was right on. It felt really good in my hands. And then the next thing that happened is I really started to take notice of the tone of the humbuckers. Not your average humbuckers, not the cheap stuff. These are, if I'm right, let me look at the website. So these are the Epiphone Alinco Classic Pro humbuckers, neck and bridge. And these come loaded with coil splits on both of them. Okay, and CTS potentiometers. It's a 3-way toggle. This is what they call a 60s slim taper. It's a 12-inch radius fretboard, medium jumbo, trapezoid inlay fret markers, 22. And it's a glued-in joint, so it's not bolt-on. And it's also got another special feature, and that it has a body, chambered body. So they did some chambering in this particular body to make it a little bit lighter. It still is kind of heavy, but not as heavy as a lot of other Gibsons or Epiphones that have not been chambered. So yeah, so it's got a ultra modern weight relief feature that they designed this with, and it's pretty plain, right? It's nice. It's got the little clip-ons here for the tail piece, so when you change your strings, this thing won't fall out like they usually do. And the intonation was really good. I spent maybe 20 minutes just kind of refining the intonation, but so far really good, and I was really enjoying the tone of it. Now, the only downside of this particular model was it has the Laurel fretboard, and I think I've mentioned this before, and maybe not on my YouTube channel, but I'm not really big on the Laurel fretboards. But some pieces of Laurel can look good, and then some can look pretty cheesy. This one looks pretty good. I mean, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's okay, but I said, you know what? Okay, forget about the Laurel fretboard. How does it play and how does it sound? And that's what really I was gravitating for. And I actually, since it was clearance, anything that's on clearance at Guitar Center, it's a non-returnable item. So I went over this. I made sure there wasn't any cracks in the headstock. When I brought it home, I sanded down the back of the neck with a wet, dry sandpaper to really smooth out the back of that neck. Kind of give it that satin kind of a look, as you can see. It's not totally professional, but I can't stand a glossy neck. So since I know it's not returnable, yeah, I did that, and I like it. It feels really soft back here. That's really nice. That's a no-brainer for me. So let's listen to a little bit of that. I really love the pickups on this guitar. They sound really good. I think I'm starting off here in the neck. Hold on, let me adjust the tone. Hold on just a second. Okay, I had to turn down my amp a little because these pickups have more output than the Schecter does. So not to give you the best tone I can get out of these. So yeah, I really like these pickups. The pickups on this particular Epiphone is really nice. I'll tell you what makes these pickups stand out is, unlike a lot of non-Gibson type pickups or professional pro Epiphone pickups, these add a lot of character, a lot of clarity. So even when you're in that neck position, things don't get muddy, and there's a lot of definition within the individual strings, and there's a lot of clarity on the highs and lows. And you don't really get that with a lot of humbuckers, because I'm sure these are proprietary wound pickups, you know. So these just have a really nice characters to them. Really, really nice. Now these sell brand new for $549. They have 4 colors. They come in a red wine. They come in a white. They come in a smokehouse burst, and then they come in ebony. So this is an ebony one right here. And they got some good features, and I think the things that stand out on this particular model is the pickups and the playability of the guitar, and you know, and the fact that the tail bridge here, the tail piece, has those little clip-ons. So that's really nice. And in fact, when I was playing this, I didn't even know that there was coil tabs on. Yeah, I was like, what? Okay, you know. So if you're into that, I think the only thing I'm going to do to this, honestly, is just buy a new pick guard, you know, with the white stripe, and maybe get some different knobs just to try it out to see if it adds a little bit more character. But it's fine just the way it is. I'm just thinking outside of the box here. Yeah, so that sounds great, man. Here's the middle position. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I just love the way these pickups sound. Since it was on clearance, I got it for half price. And like I said, with these clearance guitars, you never know what's in the store unless you go there. If you have a music store, just go, man. You never know what you're going to find. And the thing about it for me is I don't really gravitate towards Gibson type guitars, but I like the fact that it had Grover tuners, you know, rather than the other standard tuners, which kind of don't provide good tuning stabilities. I'll take these over the other ones all day long. So, you know, I just kind of prefer to have these type of tuners. I like the bookmark headstock. You know, it's good. And I just fell in love with the way it played. And I usually don't like Gibson type guitars because I don't like the neck. Sometimes they're too fat, they're too D-shaped, and but this is not the case here. So they call it a 60s slim taper, so it's nice. You know, it's not crazy thin and it's not crazy fat. It's kind of like right in the middle. But it's got all of those really great classical Gibson tones, but there's a lot of definition, a lot of clarity. They're not like cheap type of imitation Gibson type pickups. These have a lot of clarity that you don't get with a lot of other different pickups. So let's throw on a little distortion. Yeah, going into the bridge. Something went out of tune. Always the G string, right? And for that beautiful scoop tone, you know, it's there. Yeah, guys, this thing is pretty smoking badass. The tonality of these pickups sound great. And I'm sure in the market of these Epiphones, it's hard to really place value, real value. So I think they did a great job by incorporating these pickups, and they saved some money by using the Laurel fretboard. But they gave you some really nice features, with the clip-on tailpiece. That's nice, when you changing strings and this thing just doesn't fall right off the bottom. Coil tap if you're into that kind of thing, but it's not super heavy. And they have 4 other colors to choose from if you don't like the ebony, and maybe you'll get a better one. But it all comes down to the playability, and so I just happen to really like how everything fell together. It wasn't really about the Laurel fretboard. I could care less about the fretboard. It was more about the tone and the playability of the guitar. And it really did sound good. And I was like, well, I was fighting myself. Do I get this? It sounds really good. It plays really nice. But I can't stand that Laurel fretboard. I'm like, screw it. I'll take it. Nothing against Laurel fretboard. It's not my thing. I would prefer to have a rosewood fretboard. But I guess they're trying to compensate and save some money. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys. If you're in the market and you're looking, go try one of these out. I don't think you'll be at all disappointed. I'm not sure what is the specific. It's just, on the website it says featuring Alinco Classic Pro humbuckers and new colors. It's an Epiphone Studio. It would be this one because both of the volume potentiometers are coil tapped. If you're looking at the right one, if you go to the store, all I can say is that this is one of my recommendations is just to try it. Now this video is about a half hour too long, but I wanted to let you know that this was definitely a good buy of the week, and I'm definitely keeping this regardless, but I actually do like the sound and the playability of this one Epiphone, and it's a good buy, guys. Go check one out. I think you'll like it, and I think I did pretty well this week. I got rid of 2, brought home 2, and added another one. So that's crazy. So I think I'm up to like 17 guitars. Yeah, and what can you say? Maybe you really can't have enough guitars, but like I said, things just happen, So thanks for stopping in, and thanks for coming to my channel and just kind of listening to this review of Guitar Center Deal of the Week, Trade of the Week, and hopefully some of this was informational to you. And have a blessed day and take care as always.